Hey everybody, Wes here, talking about just mild paint correction today. First things first, I got my nice, holy, cheap t-shirt on. That way if I get any chemicals on, I'm not worried about ruining my nice Under Armour shirts or anything like that. But we're just doing mild paint correction today because this vehicle, this I believe 2000 Trailblazer, usually every couple of years the guy comes by and has me detail it. So it's garage kept, they're retired, they don't do a lot of driving, so not a lot of heavy paint correction. So that's why today we're only going to talk about mild paint correction. First things first, what I did was I used Surf City's Garage Surface Prep. The reason why I use this, it has a light alkaline in it, which will break down some of the old wax and sealants and polishes or anything else that's in there and kind of give me a nice bare surface. It's a light alkaline. You should always use some type of surface prep, whether it's Surf City's Garage, even though they don't make this one anymore. Or I know Adams makes I think it's called Stripper Clean or something like that, and Chemical Guys makes one too. And what that does is, like I said, it just breaks everything down. So it gives you a nice kind of new surface again. It makes it a little bit easier for you. Also really good for bug guts too. The one thing that I do like about using this is you can feel how rough it is, you know, once you get down to it. So I kind of like that. Once it gets a little smooth, you know it's broken down. Although follow the directions to a T. For instance, this one says bucket washed, says 1/2 to 1 ounce per gallon of water. So I used a 5-gallon bucket, and if I remember correctly, that's 2 tablespoons. So if you use too much, you're going to do a lot. Again, it's a light alkaline, unlike dish soap, which is a heavy alkaline, which does really damage to your car's paint. Never ever use it, even if, I mean, you're better off going and getting something. If you're in a pinch, just going to get like a wash wipes. You know, I'm not a fan of Under Armour, but I needed this in a pinch because there was, you know, bird crap all over my car. I'd rather do that than use a dish soap that's going to really damage the paint and make it harder for me next time, and sometimes cause really bad damage to the paint that I won't correct. Won't be able to correct, I should say. Next thing, I use Road Grind by Surf City Garage. I love Surf City Garage, and I'm going to do a video why I like Surf City Garage, why I use a lot of their products. So this breaks down, it's a triple action gel formula, dissolves, degreases, cleans on contact, 100% safe for all surfaces. That's what I like. That's why I like Surf City Garage, Adams Polishes, Chemical Guys. Those are more enthusiast brand. They're not professional. So if you're just an average Joe using things like this, this is why I show a lot of this, and I don't show a lot of my professional products because I don't want any blame coming my way. But when you use brands like this, it's already safe for you. It's kind of idiot proof, so to speak. But this breaks down a lot of bug guts. I will say this: when you are using this style of road grime, you know, remover or bug guts remover, you want to use more of a jet spray or your power washer. So kind of keep that in mind. So that was the first step. Second step, third step, iron remover. I bought Adams because it was one of the first on the market that was safe for the paint, and I liked it. It was really good. So I may be using maybe using some more of this in the future. Actually, I may do a review on it later. But be prepared. You have to spray this liberally all over your vehicle. Now, again, I'm working with a Trailblazer. I basically used almost, well, you can see right here, almost half just on one vehicle. So you're going to go through this stuff, so you're probably better off buying this stuff in bulk. But this does work. It is for all painted surfaces. It's safe for that. Not necessarily for your rims. They do make a different one, which is a little bit more stronger abrasive because, well, you either have steel or aluminum rims. But this stuff works. It turns purple. That's how you know it works. Just make sure you wash it off. Don't let it sit on there. About 1 to 5 minutes, it'll start turning purple, and make sure you get it off. You're gonna shower this vehicle once you use it to make sure you get all of it off. Works really well. Like I said, Chemical Guys makes one, say for the paint. Meguiar's does, but it doesn't say it on there. They have 2 different types of iron removers. One is for rims only, and the other one I can't remember off the top of my head. You would have to call Meguiar's, and they would be able to tell you which one is safe for that. Next thing I did, I clayed it, or the new brand or the new style, and I believe Surf City Garage was the first to come out with this. But I didn't use any type of spray polish. What I did is I used, I did another bucket. I basically washed it again, put the suds on it with a sponge, and then I just went over it to give you that lubrication. And I used this Bright Max that I got, which removes tough grimes, polymer and wax fortified, rapid sheeting action, high gloss finish, pH balance, non-alkaline. So this is 100% safe to do with this. You can use a spray polish, but I think the cost of spray polish versus using a nice pH balanced vehicle shampoo, that's probably the better way to go, I would say. Then I clayed it, and then what I'm going to do next is use Surf City's Garage Wipeout Scratch Remover, because this is going to be only light paint correction. It's not really, or moderate, it's not really heavy, so I don't really need to cut it with a polish. And then I'm going to finish up with Pinnacle's Natural Brilliance Liquid Solvent. It's the first time I'm going to use that, so that's why one of the main reasons why I'm doing this video. But first I want to get to using this wipeout. I want to show you a couple cool tricks with using this wipeout. I'm going to use a 2-finger method. Look how easy that was. Now look at that, it's all gone. So I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna hit a couple spots, and then we'll use the liquid solvent. Okay, change of plans. I'm gonna have to use a cleaner wax. I was wiping out a scratch here. Look at the clean, look at the decontamination in the paint. Look at that. So what we'll do for that is we'll come over here, and we will use Surf City's Beyond Clay. The only problem is I don't have a lot of this, but it doesn't take a lot to clean a whole car. So this is my secret weapon. This is the best stuff you'll ever use. This bottle right here is only 8 ounces. Yeah. So going back to there, yeah, get yourself a nice tool cart, by the way. So we're gonna have to use this stuff here. It's a paint polish. It's good for correcting. It's really awesome. It's about 15 bucks, but it is the best stuff you'll ever use on the market. Very easy to use, easy to take off, and then you can start with that. So I'll give you a great picture. I'll insert a picture here now of a before and after. So what we're going to do today, I like using Lake Country, one of the best manufacturers out there. I love their pads. These pads have a pre-polymer on it, so By doing that, it keeps the wax on the surface of the pad, not the pad absorbing all of your product. So I like that aspect of it. But today we're going to use the tangerine pad, which is good for a polishing pad. And then when we use the liquid solvent, we're going to use the finishing pad. Now, if I was going to use a cutting polish, I would use the cyan or the blue, which actually says on there cutting pad. So use the right pad for what you're working with. If you look right here, it will say apply evenly to surface, begin buffing slowly, use light to moderate pressure, decrease. Right there, use a wool pad. You can switch to wool and pad, but use a moderate pad. So kind of keep that in mind. And then use a soft micro towel to rub any affected area off. So your polishing pad is going to be a mild pad, so we're going to use this. I could use this, but I don't think it's necessary. And besides, if I was going to use this anyway, I would just use my machine cut polish. So I'm just going to use this one for the Beyond Clay, and then this one for the actual wax. So another thing to do, put 4 marks on your backing plate, so when it's spinning, you know it's working. But when you see it stop spinning, and then all of a sudden you know you're pressing too hard. So it's been shaking well. We are going to prime this. Prime the pad. Now that the pad has been primed, I'm going to use our actual product that we're going to use. So 4 small dots. Cord over the shoulder. And start off by spreading it out. Overlaying by 50%. Let me press too hard, see the lines. Other thing, if you have a ceiling fan, make sure you turn it off because sometimes it'll dry the paint a little too fast. It dried, and you could see the difference. This is where I should have put a piece of tape down. You can see the difference in the dirt and the paint. Big difference. So, kind of keep that in mind. You know, dirty side, going over the clean side. Look right there, look at that line. Dirty, clean. There's a difference in the reflection. One's clean, one's dirty. So that Surf City Garage Beyond Clay, it's awesome. Look at that. Dirty, there's the line. Clean, dirty, clean. And you can feel a difference. Listen to that, I'm barely. Look at that. That's how you know it's clean. That's the sound of clean. Alright, we're done with the Surf City Garage Beyond Clay. It's a nice glass feel. Paint should feel like glass. If it doesn't feel like glass, then it needs to be corrected. So we have that nice shine. There we go. Now that we have that, we're going to use this Natural Brilliance Liquid Solvent by Pinnacle. We're going to put this on using our Ultra Finishing Red Pad by Lake Country. And then once we'll take it off, and we're done with that, we'll use Surf City Garage's Speed Shield, which is this right here. It's good for, gets 3 months out of ceramic gloss and protection. I like that. Put this. One thing I noticed right away, nice thick consistency. It's got a little line down the middle, and you can see that. That's how nice and thick that is. I like that. The other thing I like about this Pinnacle liquid solvent is it will not stain any of your black plastic. It doesn't have a lot of those synthetics in there. So I kind of like that. So right now I'm actually priming the pad. One thing to remember, even these really good pads like Lake Country, you're only going to get maybe 3 or 4 uses out of them. And that's whether you hand wash it or whatever. I mean, the foam will eventually break down. So kind of keep that in mind. You don't want to keep using it and then, you know, I used to do the bad thing and put my foam pads in my washing machine and using free and clear liquid laundry detergent. That works, but then if you have dogs or, you know, a daughter or your wife, that the hair is going to get caught, just wash them by hand. So much simpler. All right, now we got our pad primed. We're going to put on our working product on there. About 4 or 5 pea sizes. Cord over the shoulder. I'm going to use a low setting, around 2 or 3. Over by 50%. Going over each section, 2 to 4, maybe 5 passes, depending on what you want to do. Add a little bit more product. Because I'm going to go up there again. Or not again, but up there. And my lines. Too much. Just right. I'm going to work it to about usually a good thin greasy film. This stuff buffs off just as easy as it does as it goes on. I mean, no effort, really. Look at that. So I really do like this stuff, and did not stain any of the plastic. Of course, I got to add plastic rejuvenator to that, but the only parts that you'll see that you may have to give a little bit is just where I stuck it on there just to spread that out a little bit more, but it doesn't take much. I mean, this stuff, it's smooth and it comes off very easily. I like it. Went through by hand and went in all the cracks and went up through here, you know, because I couldn't get that with the machine. But you don't need to see that. That's why I didn't videotape it. Look how easy this stuff comes off. Very easily. I should be wearing gloves. I don't know why I didn't. Oh, because it doesn't let me hit record, not enough heat. But this stuff comes off very easily. Look how fast I'm getting this stuff off. I mean, that saves time too. awesome stuff.
That's the finished product right there. Look how shiny that is. Again, this is a 2000 Chevy Blazer LTZ short body version. Look at that. Very shiny. You can see my ceilings because they haven't been painted. All you see is spackle and light. Now the last thing to do, this is what I keep all my microfiber and detail stuff in. Last thing to do is do a ceramic paint sealant. I'll do a video why I don't actually do ceramic
Liquid shield. I'd rather do something like this. So we'll spray that on there, and that will lock that color in, lock that shine in, and we would be done, all except for doing the plastic. Look how old and faded that plastic is. I'm gonna get that plastic looking good. We'll go over here where I tested a spot. Look how faded that is. That's white instead of gray. We'll get it looking back the way it should. And actually, a trick that I use to get in the small areas, little foam paint brushes. But in this instance, I'm actually using Meguiar's Ultimate Black plastic restorer. It's actually pretty good. I've had a lot of good luck with that, as you can see. So, all right, as for that Pinnacle, it was well worth the 40 bucks for that 16 ounces. I mean, look at that shine.
It doesn't even look that good back in 2000 when they first bought this truck. So, Pinnacle, liquid solver. And I think next I'm gonna try the paste, and I'll try the paste on my car.
Right there, I don't want to get my license plate in there, but I'll try it on my little Chevy Cobalt right there. So recapping my mild paint correction, use surface prep with a light alkaline, road grime destroyer to get bugs and guts and everything else on there, Adams iron remover, soapy water with the clay or the new style of clay. Use paint cleaner. Use a paint cleaner beyond clay polish. Scratch eliminator where needed. And then the cool thing about Surf City Garage's polishes and waxes, they're diminishing and they're water-based. So if you don't get it all off, you can use a liquid polish, or the next time, you know, actually when you go over with this will actually break that down. So that's the cool thing. But again, beyond clay, scratch eliminator where needed. Went over it to make sure everything was off, all the wax dried residue. Pinnacle liquid solvent, and then speed shield, ceramic paint sealant.